Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird, true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 495, written by Forest Astronomy. Secrets of the Square Carved into the Sky. I went out to scrape the ice off my car at about 4:45 a.m. It was still completely dark and the sky was clear. The moon and stars were visible. As I was scraping the windshield, something in the sky caught my eye. I looked up and saw a square shape as if cut out from the sky. It was a lighter blue color and fairly big. It looked as if someone had taken a knife and literally cut the shape out. It looked unreal. The sky around the shape was undisturbed. The light of it only lit up the square and nothing more. It was mesmerizing. There was an absence of sound that accompanied it, which added to the sense of something being very wrong. I was frozen in place staring at it. I was scared because it was so completely absurd and not natural. There is usually a little sound so early in my neighborhood. The highway is close enough that I can hear the distant noise of cars and trucks. As soon as I made eye contact with the square, all that noise was gone. Still frozen, staring at this square in the sky, I did nothing. I wanted to run back inside my house and wake someone else up so I wouldn't be alone. I felt like whatever I was seeing in the sky somehow knew I was down there, looking up at it. I cannot begin to describe the terror that began to take hold of me. Finally, the shape began to fade in a very peculiar fashion. It dimmed from the right side first, then across until it was all gone. I had to fight with myself to carry on like normal once it had left. I couldn't understand what had just taken place. Here are a couple things I feel I should add. 4:45 a.m. is my usual time to be up and outside. I wasn't overly tired. I think when I felt like it knew I was looking at it was caused by paranoia, since my brain was trying to comprehend what was happening. I did try Googling the shape, but I came up empty-handed. I don't feel like this is an extraterrestrial experience. Maybe interesting to add, ever since witnessing this, my sense of time has been off. I will feel like I've spent hours upon hours doing something when in reality it has only been an hour. I sleep and wake up feeling as if I'm going to be late because I slept so long when in reality I'd only been asleep for half an hour. I still feel super uneasy thinking about this or talking about it. I know that it may seem silly since it was just a shape in the sky. I truly wish I could show someone else what it was like. Has anyone heard of such a shape randomly appearing, or anything like this at all? Case notes, file number 495. All the vibes I get from this story encounter are of a UFO, but keep in mind this does not necessarily mean aliens. Who knows what our own governments are minting in their secret bases? There's also many theories abound that alien technology is involved in our own, that we've reverse engineered some of theirs that we've recovered from crashed ships. Or maybe aliens aren't here at all and we as humans are more ingenious than anyone yet realizes. Maybe what you saw was some sort of advanced cloaking system that was malfunctioning, causing this square shape to appear in the sky, perhaps accidentally reflecting some of the moon's light. This said, the fact you experienced time anomalies after the fact does lead me to believe this was more than just our own advanced top-secret military tech. Aliens and time distortion seem to go together like peanut butter and jelly, just not as deliciously. Case file number 496, written by Thoax. Secrets of the Afterlife Greeting. This happened 7 years ago. I was still in college, struggling to finish up my remaining exams, drinking every Saturday with my friends on the bridge in front of the local castle. Few different groups of people were always there, all of them friendly and about the same age. This is important information for later. My parents own a fishing supply shop. It's a small town, home business, with many people coming in being either elderly people or youngsters getting in on the fishing action. So one day I was waiting for my mother to handle all the customers as the cashier, while my father was explaining details to new fishermen. I needed to talk to her, so I just waited aside. Since there were many people waiting to pay and get the receipt, one older man approached me, asking me if I knew his grandson. He told me his name and I realized he is one of the drinking buddies from the Saturday booze sessions. He told me about his issues with college professors, his plans to move to Germany with his girlfriend, all kinds of information I didn't know about the dude. He came next in line to pay, so he quickly did, and while exiting the shop, he waved to me and told me not to forget to greet his grandson. Next Saturday, I met the dude and told him his grandpa said hi, only to see him go pale and shocked within a second. Both of his grandpas were long dead. I have described in detail how he looked, how he talked, how tall he was, and he thought I was joking. I have asked him to show me all the pictures of all his older male relatives, and he managed to find many on his Facebook profile. He showed me and I picked the right person within a second. The older man I've seen had no brothers or similar looking relatives. Dude I told this to was weirded out by this and he left soon after. The day after, I asked my mom if she had noticed anyone like that. It's a small town, but my parents don't know everyone coming in or notice not so well-known people when there's many customers. My mother told me that she had seen a man talking to me yesterday while I was waiting and described him in the same detail as I've seen him. There is no similar looking dude with that name and surname as the older man told me, so it's not possible it's a mix-up. All of the details this man mentioned about this dude were correct. I could never have known his life plans, nor have I heard them from anyone else. To this day, thinking about this puzzles me. It's creepy, haunting, and I don't like it, even though nothing bad happened. Case file number 497, written by MasqueradingMuppet, Secrets of the Shimmering Portal in the Woods. I've had a handful of weird things happen in the woods in the years I've been camping. This one and one other experience I've had both stuck with me a lot. So this happened in September 2017 in the Kettle Moraine State Forest in southeast Wisconsin. Two friends and I decided to do a last-minute camping trip before the end of summer and classes are getting into full swing. I was going into my grad school year and my two friends were going to be seniors. None of us had been drinking when this happened. We set up camp and decided to go for a hike along the Ice Age trail that ran next to the campground before it got too dark. We didn't leave with a specific plan in mind, but found a loop trail and continued on that. This section of the woods had trails that were on top of a ridge, so there were steep drop-offs on either side. Not like you'd die if you fell, but pretty steep, 20-foot hill drop more like, so you really can't go off trail. So the trail is probably 4 to 5 miles, and by this point we're going on our last mile and the sun is setting. We didn't realize we'd take this long, so none of us even have our headlamps with us. But that's fine since we guesstimate we only have about another mile left or so. We round a small corner and the trail ahead has trees arching from either side of the path overhead, almost creating a doorway. That wouldn't be a big deal except for the fact that the area of this doorway was shimmering, almost like when you drop a stone into water and it ripples and sloshes a bit. We all stopped and one of us said something along the lines of, "Am I dehydrated or does that look weird?" That's the best way I can describe it at least. We all saw it, but there was no turning back at this point. We only had maybe 30 minutes of daylight left, couldn't go around and couldn't turn back. Finally, one of us, I think it was me but I don't recall for certain, stuck our arm through. Nothing happened. It still looked the same, shimmering like water or heat off a black top on a hot day. We all walked through and were fine. Seemingly. We joked for a few weeks that we stepped into an alternate universe. I'm only friends with one of the friends now, and a few years later I brought it up to her and she just said she didn't want to think about it. It didn't impact me that way. I just still think it was odd. Anyway, I've heard of stairs in the woods, but we can't be the only ones to encounter a portal in the woods, can we?